Happy Monday morning, 521. I hope everybody had a great weekend and got some time to spend with family in a safe and quarantined way. This is it. It's the start of week 8, the final week for this class. It has gone quick as far as Concordia has gone. Being in quarantine and with balancing Concordia and school and family, it seems like a long 8 weeks. And I've been emailing with you guys, and I think we're all on the same page there. So let's start off with the quote, as usual. What keeps you going isn't some fine destination, but just the road you're on and the fact that you know how to drive it. And that's from Animal Dreams. I love this quote. I, to be honest, have never read that book and don't really know what it's about. But I saw this quote somewhere and I kept it in my back pocket because I love the idea that sometimes we don't have this grand plan of a final destination, but just being on the road and moving forward because we know how to move forward is enough. And that's kind of what the past few weeks have felt like. We don't really know the final outcome, but we know that we need to move forward and we know how to do that, so we are. So I hope that leaves you with just a final thought there. This is the final week. You guys made it. I can honestly say that through the discussion posts and your assignments, it's been a blessing to be in this course with you guys. You guys are definitely a blessing for your colleagues and your students, and they're definitely lucky to have you. It's really evident that you guys are all trying to improve at what you do and hone your craft. So jump in. Week 8 is wrapping up the e-portfolio. That's the big one. Summing up the course, reflecting on your learning. We'll look at some AT tools within the classroom and evaluate on the continuum. We'll also look at how AT tools can help at-risk groups. Those assistive technology tools can be really helpful for those students with disabilities, but you think about any at-risk group, just like, when I'm struggling with students in an at-risk group, whether it's low income or a minority group or whatever it may be, EL group, a lot of times I'll go to my RSP lead and ask her to share some of her tricks out of her bag for me, because whatever she's doing is usually works well for any student that's struggling. So as far as the content for this week, there is none. You only have one discussion question. So reflect on this course. If you were asked by your principal or anyone what you learned in the class, how would you respond using specific terms, strategies, and methods covered? If that person pressed you further and asked about specific changes you would make based on your understanding of the topics, what would you say? And remember, this week, your initial post is due on Wednesday, and your 2 peer responses are due on Friday because the class ends Friday at 11:59. So the big thing, obviously, is the e-portfolio for the week. Before I jump into that, I know there's been some emails, a few people with submissions and weird stuff going on with the 3-day lesson plan, and just get your stuff in before Friday, and you'll be good. So I just wanted to encourage you. I know the last few weeks have been crazy, so get all your stuff in before Friday, and I will make sure that it's all taken care of as far as the grading and the feedback for you. So let's jump in. Your point of focus for this week would be the collaboration plan portion of your project, and so before you hit submit, because there's not a lot of time for any changes. There really shouldn't be any changes. Once you submit on Friday, grades are due by Sunday. So it's a quick turnaround. So once again, I'm just going to spend a minute or two not reading all of this, but just going through again. The hope is that you don't have to do all of this in this week because you've been doing it as you've been going along. Remember, all the content is really coming from the course. So there's not a lot of new content. It's more organizing it and taking that information. And some is from discussion posts. So here are the 14 sections, which would be pages on the website. Page 14 has some sub pages. And here, a big thing, a brief description or relevant for each section. So if a section has 2 or 3 things on it, you're not having to give a description for each thing, though you can if you want to. Make sure All the links are set to shared. Anyone with the link outside your domain, that's still been a little bit of an issue, so make sure that's set so I can see everything, because if I can't get to it by Sunday, by grading time, I can't give you a grade for that portion of it. Make sure it's presented creatively. I would say more so than creatively, that the design adds to the content, but also that it's easy to navigate. That's a big deal when you're doing e-portfolios. People need to be able to go through it. And so here's your rubric. It's a very long rubric, but if you want to get exemplary, here's all the goals for you. So I know I've been answering questions on the ePortfolio as the weeks have gone on. So if there are any new question comes up that as you are doing it, please reach out to me. But other than that, have a great week. If you have any questions, please reach out. Remember, anything that you're struggling with that hasn't been turned in on time, whatever, just get it in before Friday, and you'll be okay. And then, even after this course is over, if there's something that you need help with, that you think I can help on the technology side, please reach out. As always, you can reach me on email, text, you can call, at Twitter as well. You can follow me on Twitter, and I put a lot of stuff out there as well. And I like to emphasize my signature quote every end of the course. And the best teacher in the world is someone who loves what he or she does and just does it in front of you. So that's from the amazing Mr. Rogers. And I would just say that as long as you're loving what you're doing every day, you're going to be fine for your students. So have a great day. Have a great week. Good luck on the rest of your program.